What's going on, YouTube? Today we got a special video about D Rose, man. Free D Rose. Man, y'all already know he locked up for some shit he didn't even do, man. Fuck the streets. The streets is dead. We gonna get into this video, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe if y'all want me to do more reactions like this. Let's get into this video.
I think folks go eventually come home, folks. On Steve, I really do, folks. But I just really think, like, because of who he is, bro, and how long I feel like they've been targeting him. Now that they finally got Rose, I just feel like they gonna make it so hard. Because, like, bro, Cam, like, it's no secret. Everybody in the city of Chicago know D Rose innocent. That ain't just no shit you hear his homie saying or us saying because we just say that, bro. Like, that ain't his work. Like, it's really not,
we all know
bro.
he innocent.
And when he get 40 years for that shit, bro, like, it'll make you lose hope even then, folks, because it's
40 years? Slim, that's steep. Bro not gonna be out till he like 60 years old, bruh. You feel me? Man, he could probably get out on good behavior. You feel me? Don't get it twisted. You feel me? Don't nobody ever do the whole, you know what I'm saying? They make it seem like you about to do that, but you can get out on good behavior, you know what I'm saying? Teach a class or something. He could definitely get out on good behavior, but that's still a long ass time, bruh. He already been in that joint for 10 plus. You feel me? So,
like, bro,
crazy,
I ain't gonna
man.
lie.
Streets
Like,
dead.
forget, D Rose beat a case like 3-4 months. He beat an attempt murder before he caught that murder. Like,
and that's crazy.
I said 18 months for some shit that, hey, maybe I did, maybe I didn't do it. I'm booked for it and I beat it. Then I come home, I'm doing my thing. These gonna slap some on me I ain't never did. I'm in my mind, I'm in that like, man, I just spanked some shit I probably did do.
But that's karma for you, bro. If you really did just do some shit, you know what I'm saying? I ain't saying he did nothing. I don't know what he did, but if you really did just do some shit, you beat the case for that shit, and then you turn around and get some time for some shit you had nothing to do with for real, you feel me? And now you doing 40 years for another nigga. And then the same nigga you doing 40 years for ain't putting money on your books, ain't calling you, ain't saying. All they doing is putting your name in raps. So, I don't know.
Alright, y'all, being that the talks about Chicago's own 600 D Rose have been coming up, I figured we'll react to his story to shed some light on his situation, which happens to be a very crazy situation, might I add, because he was given a 40-year sentence, and the word on the street is the crime that he's being accused of, he didn't even do. However, as y'all know, the no-telling rule has him with his mouth shut, because although many have failed to adhere to the unwritten rule of the streets, D Rose decided to stick to it. And it's sad because it's also just a quick reminder how quick the streets can chew you up, spit you out, and also those same people you call friends will watch you rot in prison knowing that you don't even belong there. Now, since he's been in there, it's been claimed that he's reached out to certain people who we know got the money, but some have turned their backs. Not saying everybody, but those who have enough leverage to do something about his situation, knowing it's a possibility that he's an innocent man, they haven't. At least, not hard enough.
Listen, I can't be with people who just like, boy, yo, you say you want Bernie and all that, you supposed to be with me in some type of way. Yo, I ain't talked to you in years. Certain people I ain't talked to in years. I never ever talked to rappers. How you don't talk to me with your son? This is me.
D Rose has been arrested since 2014, convicted in 2015, sentenced in 2016, and this year, 2026, makes it 10 years since he's been incarcerated. To us, the time is flying, but to him, it may feel like it ain't flying enough. But what kind of hope do you got to look forward to when you think about it and realize that you literally have 30
years to go? But like I said, though, he probably got 10. He probably got a good solid 10 more years to do. You feel me? Before they be like, all right, this is what it is. Like, you already did your time. You got time served. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, he can get out on good behavior. But other than that, That's crazy if y'all make that man do that whole 30 and with y'all knowing that the streets even saying, everybody saying, social media saying that that man is 100% innocent. But just because he ain't telling, y'all gonna hold that man for a whole 40 piece. When the actual person that actually did the fucking murder is out there still doing the murders.
More years to do. So recently it's come out that some are now saying that D-Rose have been allegedly doing drugs while he's in there, and his recent mugshot have went viral and showing that he does appear to look a bit different.
Now, bruh do look like he off some drugs. That look like bruh off some drugs. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Man, y'all got free D-Rose, man. It's like for real, bruh. Free D-Rose, man. This is crazy. Look at this shit. Bruh smiling like he on some creep. Look like, what the fuck?
Then, to make matters worse, his ex-girlfriend would claim that he has been smoking all of his lawyer money up while he's been incarcerated.
We met when we was like 14, 15 years old, right?
Okay, so you irrelevant. Y'all met when you was 14, 15 years old. Y'all ain't been together that long, I'm pretty sure, because I ain't never heard of you. Nobody never heard of you. You know what I'm saying? Ever since this man been locked up, you ain't been, I don't know, supporting this man, none of that shit. And all of a sudden you know what I'm saying, you the ex-girl. That's how this shit go, bro. I'm telling you, when the names start going viral, that's when the bitches start going crazy. I'm telling you, bro.
And it's so much transpired that I opted out of speaking on, that a lot of people opted out of speaking on. But my personal information is not leaked, but given out. That's a breach of the compound. You know what I'm saying? Loyalty no longer lies here. So what am I being quiet about? Right? So let's play ball. I don't got Ben no more. And the reason I don't him is because he's a junkie.
Come on, D-Rose, bruh. Hell no, bruh. Not a junkie.
Oh my God.
He's a smoker. I'm sure y'all done seen them videos on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, social media in general of people smoking in jail and looking like tweaking out. Looking stupid in general of people smoking in jail and looking like tweak. That's what he be doing. All the fans and people wondering why he ain't had no lawyer, why he ain't got no support, why he has no representation, because he smoked it all. He smoked it all. The lawyer that he wants only wants $7,500 to retain him. So y'all think that out of all these people that say his name in raps, that post him, even if all of them sent $100, he been in jail, what, 8 years? 9 years? 8 years. Yeah, he been in jail 8 years because he fought the first 2 years in the county. He was convicted after that. And he spent 2 years fighting, and then he was convicted. So I'm gonna spend all these years. You don't think even if it sent him $100, he would have the money to retain his lawyer? He don't have that because he smoked it. He smoked it all.
However, what do you expect from a man who was wrongfully accused?
Wrongfully accused. I feel what Shawty saying, but I also feel what, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel what Hookah saying. Shout out Hookah Anonymous. You feel me? Come on, bro. Like, what you mean? Y'all niggas owe me something. Nigga, I'm doing 40 years. I'm doing 40 years for some shit that I did not do. I'm going by the code. This is the code that everybody keep talking about. The code. The code. The code don't exist, YNs. The code don't exist. I did some loyal shit by keeping my mouth closed, but y'all doing some disloyal shit by leaving me fucked up and out of bed. Like,
Oh my God.
what? Bruh, to be real, man, D Rose should be up. Snacks, hella food. Bruh, this nigga should be have commissary out their ass. He should have a locker full of, you know how them niggas be having on the joint, they be showing off their commissary and shit. They be showing off the commissary. Commissary be crazy. I'm talking about noodles. No packet. You know what I'm talking about? Can Merc. Fuck you talking about? Like, he's supposed to be up on the real. And that man out, come on, man.
And have to sit in jail knowing that his life is pretty much over for something that he didn't do. I'm not saying he was a saint, but nobody is. But if I'm gonna receive consequences, I'd rather it be from something I actually did, then I'll be able to deal with it. But until you know the feeling of being stripped from your family, friends, and freedom as a whole, you can't judge. He went in as a kid, and many guys in there indulge in certain things to keep themselves from going crazy, so maybe that's just his choice of coping. It is what it is. But for y'all that aren't familiar,
that's crazy. In them past pictures, everybody was either dead or deceased. They deceased. They all deceased. T-Roy, V-Roy, fucking, who else was in that shit? L.A. They all deceased, bruh. Y'all gotta wake up, man. This shit is serious, bruh. Just for he doing all this, bruh. Just for him not even to be getting taken care of. That's crazy. That's insane.
With his story, we're gonna get into it so you can understand why a guy that been around the likes of King Von, Mimo 600, Chief Keef, Tay 600, C-Day, Fredo Santana, Little Reese, Rondo number 9, just
all those hitters. I'm talking about top chart. And y'all see why I said in my last video, Chicago got so much fucking talent. All of them niggas right there, bro, made over $1 million. And you mean to tell me y'all couldn't 75, 100 was all the lawyer you need? That's crazy.
anybody you could think that's somebody within the drill culture, but yet the world barely know who he is. And as I always say, we could definitely learn a lesson from this situation right here, because D Rose is going through something that a lot of people go through no matter where you're at in the world. Where a lot of times, guys do a lot of things in the streets and never get caught for it, but that one thing that they may or may have not done, they do get caught for it. A lot of people feel that that may be their karma. Some agree with it, some don't. But at the end of the day, sometimes that's the hands that's dealt to you. It seems like D Rose's reputation exceeded him, and he paid the ultimate price at the end. So we're going to get into it. First and foremost, shout out to Hip Hop Daily. I'll leave a link to the original video in the comments so you guys can go check it out. But in the meantime, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, hype the video so we can get into the algorithm. And if you not subscribed to the platform already, make sure you do so now. Let's get into it.
Fans of Chicago drill will know the name D Rose from Chief Keef songs like Love Sosa and John Madden. But true fans will know that this D Rose doesn't play basketball, but was instead a respected member of the Black Disciples. Let's take a closer look at the story of D Rose, the most respected Chicago shooter. Abir Sardine, better known as D Rose, was a member of the Black Disciples who rose the ranks to become one of the most feared and respected gang members in all of Chicago. D Rose was a member of Team 600, a set of the BDs allied with O-Block that also featured famous rappers like L.A. Capone, Rondo number 9, and E-Day 600.
Yo, keep in mind, right? When you hear this story, because we were young growing up in the drill culture, so when we heard these stories about these guys, it didn't hit like it does now because we were all the same age. But at the end of the day, now getting older and understanding that these guys was every bit of 12, 13, 14, 15 years old, toting big guns, right? Rapping what they rapping about, actually catching bodies and doing what they rapping about. Now looking back at it, it's like,
shit was stupid. Shit was fucking stupid. Now looking back at it, nigga, it was stupid. God damn it, it was dumb. I shouldn't have did that. It's too late now, bruh. And that is, like, it's karma, bro. It's karma. Just when you think you beat the devil at his own game, nah, bro. It don't work. Like, it don't work like that, bro. That's how the universe works.
Crazy. Before, it was just entertaining, of course, because we didn't know anything about Chicago. We didn't know anything about the drill and these guys with guns. So for us to see that, these kids, the same age as us, with weapons, it was fascinating. But like I said, getting older now and watching and looking back, it's actually crazy, man.
But D Rose was known all over the city and was known to rock with a bunch of different sets across different gangs. D Rose didn't start out as BD. He was originally from the Motown neighborhood, which is an area controlled by the Black Peace Stones. His father was a respected member, and early on, D Rose was affiliated with the Folly Boys. But his father was allegedly killed in 2009, and not long after that, D Rose would start hanging out with the BDs. Eventually, he moved down to the area around 51st and May Street, the territory claimed by 600. Around that time, he would start repping the set and switch gangs to become a BD. But D Rose was so well respected that he maintained close ties with multiple BD sets, including THF, TYMB, Lamron, Front Street, and O Block. This is part of what made him so respected in the city of Chicago, because his gang ties ran deep. He was also known for being a dude who really put in work in the streets and grew his reputation across the city. He was cool with not only BDs, but Stones and Mickey Cobras as well. Even when certain cliques that he was cool with would get into a beef, D Rose would fall back and not pick sides. Plus, he was so well loved in the South Side that no one would force him to get involved. He was a crucial link between a lot of these different BD sets, and all the prominent members of each gang were cool with him. D Rose is rumored to be one of the first of the younger members of 600 to jump off the porch and make moves in the street.
Now, keep in mind, right? Y'all see how they say he went from the Folly Boys to over there with 600. And this is why a lot of these, and I'm not talking about him when I say the backdoor situations, but this is why a lot of these guys either get backdoored or they know they're ops.
Yeah, because they feel like, man, you basically picking sides. Like, you basically picking, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though you was cool at one point, now you over there. What we doing? What we doing? You know what I'm saying?
Because once upon a time, they were actually cool with these same guys that they call ops. Whether they went to school with each other, whether they family know each other, they went to church, something, played basketball. They were once cool once upon a time. And then it got to a point to where these guys literally go to the furthest extent to take each other's lives, and they know each other. Now you got some of them who are actually related as well, which is crazy. But even they go to the extent of trying to take their cousin's lives. You even got Little Zay Osama saying, F my cousin. He made a whole song about it, right? But then you do have guys such as D Rose, who instead of making beef, he stay out of it. So yeah, he know the ops, and he got their respect as well. But he don't get in the middle of their beef along with the people he's affiliated with. He just stay out of it.
He was considered one of the most active members of 600 and was known to drill with all the different sets he was allied with, including THF, TYMB, and O Block. It's rumored that D Rose became active in the streets after the murder of a Front Street member named Baldy. Baldy was killed on July 17, 2011, while walking with a friend down the 600 block of South Prairie Avenue. While they were walking, a van pulled up and started letting off shots. Baldy was shot in the head, and his friend was shot in the ankle. They were both brought to Mount Sinai Hospital, where Baldy would eventually pass away at just 19 years old. Damn. Baldy was a well-loved member of 600, and after he died, the set also started going by the name Baldy World. Baldy and D Rose were close, so after he was killed, D Rose went crazy in the streets. Baldy's killer was never caught, and the hit was credited to a GD set called MOB. MOB was allied with STL EBT, the set known to be for O Block, and many believe that they were involved in the hit as well. On December 3rd, 2011, an STL EBT affiliate named Dale Fisher was killed while walking home with a friend. Dale was only 16 at the time, and many have claimed that he wasn't actually affiliated with the gang. He just grew up in the area and was cool with some of the members. But that didn't matter to the ops, and on the night of December 3rd, two gunmen would approach him in a silver vehicle while he was driving down the 6200 block of South St. Lawrence. He would start letting off shots, and Dale would be hit in the chest. He later passed away from his injuries.
The crazy part is, to this day, right? There's guys just like Dale who basically aren't affiliated. They're affiliated with certain guys, but they don't got no dealings in the streets. They never unalived nobody. They never did anything to threaten nobody. But the problem
They
is,
just on that side.
they're in pictures, they're in videos,
Right.
and they're seen throwing up gang signs. But you gotta remember, these are kids.
It's-
They're just
you know
doing
what I
what they
mean?
see their friends doing.
Nah,
not
bro,
knowing
this is
potentially
grown
that
man, this is grown man shit. You feel me? As a kid, 14, 15 years old, man, you shouldn't be worrying about throwing about no motherfucking gang signs, nigga. You should be throwing up the motherfucking books. You feel me? Throw up the motherfucking books. Throw up the motherfucking grades. Y'all niggas worrying about switching guns and shit. Niggas switch a page. Read a book. You know what legend said? You want to hide something from a black person, put it in a book. Shit fucked up and crazy, but it's true.
These gang signs mean F somebody's deceased homeboy or relative. But we're just doing it because we see, our friends doing it. But the problem is, them same people, they get sucked into the streets, and next thing you know, they lose their life over something they really had no dealings in. And to this day, that still happened. To this day, guys are losing their lives because they just wanted to be in a video. They didn't even know that he was dissing somebody. They just seen some
Pure dummy. If they was in schools instead of being on the block in the video, they'll still be here today. Y'all gotta open your eyes, man, and know when all this shit needs to stop. All this shit needs to stop. Bro dead, bro locked up for doing some shit he didn't even fucking do.
somebody shooting a video on the block, got in the video, next thing you know, the ops spin their block, see them, take them out, and boom, an innocent life taken for just being in pictures or a video.
Rumor that D Rose was the one who took out Dale from STL EBT. Only a few months before that, both Tuka and Odie Perry had been killed, starting the war between O Block 600 and STL EBT. So Dale was just another body dropped in one of the deadliest wars in the history of Chirac. By that time, D Rose was gaining a reputation as one of the deadliest shooters in Chicago. The Chicago drill movement was starting to take off, and BD rappers like Chief Keef and Rondo No. 9 would start name dropping D Rose in songs, only to help build his clout in the city. But D Rose wasn't only feared by the ops, he was also a major target of the Chicago police, who were eager to lock him up the minute he was caught slipping. At the time, 600 was beefing with another gang called 051 Money Gang. 051 had already killed several well-respected members of 600, and they were looking for revenge. On June 22nd, 2012, a 14-year-old member of 051 named Fats or Fathead was killed while walking home with his cousin from a corner store. As they were walking, they noticed a van drive by them and slowed down as it passed. They didn't make anything of it, but moments later, the van circled back and started letting off shots. The cousin managed to escape, but Fats was hit and fell to the ground. As his cousin turned back to see what happened, she witnessed the killer get out of the car and open fire on Fats again to make sure he was dead. Fats' death has been credited to C-Day, and D Rose is rumored to have been the one driving the car. D Rose would continue terrorizing his ops, and only a few months later, he would allegedly catch another body. 600 was also beefing with a G.
Now pay attention, right? This is like the second or third. I think second. But this is like the second body that D Rose's name was wrapped in, claiming to be involved in when it comes to, body dropping. That's gonna be important later.
GD set called Brick Squad. Their biggest op from Brick Squad was a rapper named Lil Jojo, who had recently dropped a diss track called BDK, where he took shots at the entire Black Disciple gang. To make matters worse, Lil Jojo tried to troll Lil Reese by driving past him swearing a bunch and calling him a and then posted a video of it online.
Hey, Ricky Low, yeah. Wrong with you? Hey, I am Brick Squad. Yeah, Brick Squad, boy. You talking about, boy? We get up.
He and Lil Reese started going back and forth on Twitter, dissing each other and making threats. Lil Jojo would eventually drop his location, tweeting, "I'm on hashtag 069, I'm out here." That would prove to be a big mistake, and just a few hours later, Lil Jojo would be shot and killed while riding his bike near 69th Street and Princeton Ave. Chief Keef.
The craziest part, he said he was on 069 and he...
I know y'all remember this shit. And Chief Keef was like, it's sad because that nigga JoJo wanted to be like us. And then hurry up and took that shit down. Like, nigga, come on, bruh.
really was on 069. I don't know if maybe he thought that, you know, being tough on social media at the time, that they wasn't going to pull up, and he was just saying things to say it, trying to look cool, but he really dropped his own location and lost his life. That got to be one of the most backwards things to do of the drill culture. To this day, he's probably the first and only, well, he's definitely the first that I know.
He ain't the only.
That dropped their own location.
He ain't the only one. Man, it's a couple videos on in the rap. Basically, with these niggas saying that they here and man, I'm right here and I'm right here and I'm right there. And if you could pull up and do this, that, and the third, and then it don't turn out right. Like, it never turns out right. And then when they always do it, you can see them drop the motherfucking phone and all you hear is shots going off, but it's like,
and lost their life literally hours after.
Keith would go on to tweet, "It's sad because that JoJo wanted to be just like us. Hashtag laugh my ass off," leading many to believe that Kiefer Reese had something to do with his death. But the word on the street is that the actual killer was none other than D Rose. D Rose was allegedly with a group of BDs, including Poo Poo, Kiki, and J Money, when they caught JoJo riding on his bike and took him out. Many believe that D Rose was also the one who pulled the trigger. D Rose would go on to diss Lil JoJo several times on social media after his death, supporting the rumors that he was the killer.
JoJo.
He would spend all of 2013 behind bars, but will be back out on the streets in 2014. By this time, Chicago drill had absolutely exploded, and Chief Keef was going viral. But the streets of Chicago were hotter than ever, and the war between the BDs and GDs had only gotten worse. After getting out of jail, D Rose would go right back to drilling and would catch another body by the end of the year. While D Rose was locked up, the beef between O Block 600 and 051.
Allegedly, man. Why y'all never say allegedly? God damn, you don't know if that man was behind none of that shit. You just saying, and allegedly, D Rose came out and caught another body, and he couldn't stop doing it, and he just kept killing and just kept killing and just kept killing. Nigga, you don't know.
Had only gotten more intense. In March 2014, a rapper named Lil Mark, who was associated with 051 Young Money, dropped a remix to the Lil Durk song, Competition, called No Competition, where he took shots at OTF, 600, Lamron, O Block, and a bunch of other BD sets. Just a few days later, Lil Mark was killed while standing at a bus stop, and it's been rumored that D Rose was the shooter. But just a few months after that, it would be all.
Now, keep in mind, y'all, that's 4 bodies so far.
I was about to say, cause god damn. That nigga was on a rampage. I mean, you know.
Right? I could be off, but so far we calculated 4 bodies that he's been responsible for allegedly, or at least affiliated where his name has came up, and he hasn't been convicted or caught for it. Right? Pay attention.
All over for D Rose. He was arrested for the murder of 14-year-old Venzel Richardson. Venzel also went by the name Big V and was affiliated with the GD set Taekwon World. Taekwon World is allied with STL EBT, and they were part of the beef between them and O Block 600. Big V and his homies left a convenience store near 61st and King Drive on the night of February 12, 2014, when a minivan pulled up alongside him and started letting off shots. Big V was shot 4 times in the back of the head and later died from his injuries. By that point, the Chicago police wanted D Rose off the streets after they failed to get him for the Lil Mark murder. They received information that he was involved in the Big V hit, and he was arrested about 6 weeks later. A witness identified him in a photo lineup, and he was officially charged with the murder. After spending several years fighting the case, D Rose was found guilty of first-degree murder in 2016 and sentenced to 40 years in prison. But even with all the work D Rose put in the streets, many believe that he's actually innocent of the murder of Big V. After his sentencing, 600 Breezy posted a photo of the news story on IG, along with the caption, "He didn't even do this. He wasn't even there. 100. I hate the system. Free my brothers. It's foul."
Now, for y'all that don't know, right? There's a lot of people that say that he wasn't even on the scene when this happened.
That's insane. So that's what I didn't know. That's crazy that he wasn't even there. But even saying that though, Breezy, is like a little bit too much, because they're gonna end up coming to you and they gonna be like, so do you know who did it? Was it you? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all be incriminating yourself too a lot. Like, damn.
And like I said before, we all know that when the police want you because they feel that you keep escaping, they're gonna use anything in their power to get you. And in this case, they're using somebody, and to this day, we don't know who. But they say they're using somebody who pointed him out in the photo lineup and said that he was there. But if he really wasn't there and everybody else knows that he wasn't there, what proof do they have that he was the guy that actually pulled the trigger?
Right.
And the crazy part, they don't got no surveillance. They don't have any DNA, fingerprints, nothing that could actually point him to the scene, except for somebody pointing him out. And the crazy part is they don't have to prove themselves. It's just, yeah, I seen them and that's that. To this day, they only have that one person as evidence saying that they seen him and him alone on that scene. Crazy.
He an innocent man. They doing it because of his street name. Although the Big V hit has been credited to 600 Front Street, many believe that it wasn't actually D Rose who pulled the trigger. But at that point, the Chicago police wanted him off the streets for good, even if that meant framing him for a murder. The saddest part about the D Rose story is that after he got locked up, he claims he was abandoned by all his old friends, some who were millionaires at that point. Not long after D Rose got locked up, Team 600 started to fall apart. L.A. Capone was killed in 2013, and then C-Day and Rondo Number 9 were also both sentenced to over 40 years in prison around the same time as D Rose. The other BDs who made it out of the streets, like Chief Keef and
all together, though, they just gave out that bag. They just gave out a whole 120 years. Split between them them three. That's crazy, bruh. That's crazy, bruh. And then it's wicked because, yeah, like he just said, Chief was already up. Dirk was already up. Fucking Vaughn was already up. And Vaughn what the fuck? Now that I'm thinking about it, Vaughn was giving out 100,000 back to the block. Why you ain't give him 7,500 or 75,000? What's really going on? Gotta make it make sense.
Lil Durk had already left the city to focus on their music. So, while they were touring the world and becoming millionaires, D Rose was left to rot in jail, even though he was the main shooter in the gang who helped the BDs earn the respect they had all across the city.
See how that works? Right?
I use you like a rag, wash real good, then put you back on the joint. That's crazy work, bruh. That's crazy work.
The man that was putting in the most work got the worst end of the stick. For what? At the end of the day, how many times do you think he sat in that cell and asked himself, for what? Right? Millionaire friends. He did a DJU interview and he said certain people, right, who are millionaires or who got the money can possibly help him, but they never did. And one of the reasons would be that if you got a good enough lawyer, possibly, I'm not sure because I know it's going to be a lot of money, being that it's a lot of bodies and things involved. But at the end of the day, if they don't have zero evidence at all,
I'm going to be the first to tell you, D Rose, if you ever see this interview, I mean, not this interview, but this reaction, I'm going to be the first to tell you, they ain't got the money that you think they got, bro. Not for your case. It's gonna cost a couple $1 million, and they don't got that. They barely had it for Dirk. You know what I'm saying? Like, these rappers ain't making no money, bro. So they famous, but for what cause? But for what cause?
Or I'm pretty sure there's a possibility for an overturn. But he said nobody helped him.
In the interview D Rose did from jail, he dissed Chief Keef and Lil Durk and claimed they abandoned him after he got locked up. He said that his bond was only $100K, meaning he could have gotten out of jail, which is $10K. But no one came for him, and he had to sit in jail for 3 years before being sentenced. By that point, Chief Keef had already been featured on a Kanye record and could have...
So hold up. So was that $10,000 that Chief Keef said he spent was that what they was talking about? I think that's what Vaughn and them was coming to him about when they asked him they needed $10,000 to get folks in them out of jail. I think they was talking about D Rose the whole time. I definitely now think they was talking about D Rose. So if that was, then Chief Keef, you fucked up. Chief, what the fuck? Don't make me call D Rose, boy. He's 600, boy.
Easily giving him the money, but for whatever reason, he never came through. He said that the only person he's still cool with was Tay 600, which came as a shock to many. Tay 600 was kicked out of Team 600 after rumors surfaced that he snitched on C-Day and Rondo in their murder case. People like E-Day and 600 Breezy claimed to have seen paperwork proving that he snitched, but Tay maintained his innocence. He cleared his name a few years back after court paperwork proved that he didn't snitch.
Yeah, like it was a fake statement floating around, and it said in the statement, I, Jamonte D. Carpenter, have seen Rondo and C-Day shoot the person 5 times, you know, and the statement was so fake because if you read the statement, for one, court document's not gonna say Rondo and C-Day, it's gonna say Courtney and Clint, and then like the dates on the fake statement was all type of up. The addresses was up.
But by that point, a lot of damage had already been done to his reputation. According to D Rose, Tay was one of the only ones who called and checked up on him regularly. In the end, D Rose actually lived the life that most drill rappers talk about in their music. Even though he did a lot of dirt in the streets, he was only 17 years old when he was arrested and didn't know anything else but the streets of Chirac. His story should be a lesson to anyone who's really about that life. There's only 2 outcomes, death or jail, and just because the streets love you when you're on top, doesn't mean they're gonna be there when you're at the bottom. D Rose filed an appeal, but it was shot down in 2019. As of right now, his projected release date is in 2057. If he's truly innocent,
God damn, bruh. $2057?
hopefully, one day, justice will be served and he'll get a second chance at life. But when you live that street lifestyle, you gotta be prepared for what comes with it, even if it means spending the rest of your life behind bars.
Now, I think at the end of the day, we all know why that appeal was shot down. And this is why I said keep calculation of the bodies that he was accused of being involved in. Because that's where it really come from. The fact that a lot of times the police probably felt that he was involved.
So, man, basically, as you can see, you know, you got to pass. You know what I'm saying? Like, karma finally catches up. You feel me? When you got to pass the shit that you know, quote unquote, if you did it, if you didn't do it, I don't know, that you did or didn't do, and you beat the cases and shit. When the boy cried wolf, you feel me? So, with that being said, man, streets, man, is dead. It's done. It's out of here. It's been history. Get you a 9-to-5 or some shit. Go out here, get your money the right way, man. MONICELLO'S reactions, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. I feel like I gotta keep telling y'all this. You know what I'm saying, man? But look, make sure y'all do that, man. I'm out of here.